Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, everybody. We're so thrilled to be here this morning with you. Coach Chester is out of town on special assignment. And of course, you've met me sometime back. Billy Grantham is here filling in. Imagine that. We're so happy again, as I said, to be here bringing this morning's telecast. The weather this morning is brought to you by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. Get your education. You'll have it for life. Also, our river reading brought to you this morning is by Mountain Dew. Remember what Mountain Dew and Mama says, take it outside. Mountain Dew, the river reading. At Bluntstown, is Friday is at 10 foot and slowly on down slide. Probably them folks down around Howard's Creek and I imagine Owl Creek and White Oak Landing are probably getting pretty excited now because the river's getting down around 7 foot and 6 foot and getting out of those trees. And now over in Choctawhatchee, it's at 4.5 feet in that area right there. And I'm confident that those people have already been wearing them out. And we'll have more news on that a little later on. The tide charts are brought by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Your high tide is going to be at 10:06 a.m. till about a low tide of 5:15 p.m. That's a pretty good time to be getting out there in the morning early before that wind picks up and catch that incoming tide to perhaps, hopefully, get on top of them trout and maybe a few of those old redfish as well. All right, we'll be right back in just a few minutes. We're back again and got this special guest in here. Of course, he's pretty special to me, is Matthew Buckshot. He told me not to say that. Buckshot Grantham. And brought Matthew in here this morning. As in the last show we were here, he kind of talked about a little bit of his life, how he loves to be in the woods and out there in the middle of it. But you remember the last show he was on, he talked about his most favorite thing he enjoyed doing was turkey hunting. Well, turkey season is over now, and for you people out there that enjoy that sort of thing, he's going to give you a little bit about what happened, how it went real well for him or how it didn't go for him. Perhaps the same way yours did out there in the woods as well.
Well, it didn't go too hot for me, but went hot for other folks.
Other folks.
To start the season out, opening morning called a bird in for a boy, Caleb Van Leerup. I got the picture on here. I'll show it in a few minutes. But I talked to people that have turkey hunted all their life, and this year has been the worst year that they've ever seen.
Wow.
Just because everything's down from the hurricane, just everybody's pattern and the birds' pattern's gone.
Right. I can just imagine that. One thing is we've talked about back during gun season for deer, you couldn't get in the woods, you couldn't do any scouting or preparatory stuff like that. Was that part of the thing?
Well, the main thing is the birds really don't have nowhere to fly down unless you have a road or a food plot. And if you don't have either one of those, good luck.
Man.
Good luck. But I'm gonna show some pictures here of what some of my buddies and them did kill, and I'll get into my turkey season a little bit later on. But this right here is Garrett Williams from Jackson County. He killed this bird off of the Chipola River. Pretty good bird. You can see his beard there. He killed this bird, I want to say it was 53 degrees one morning, so cool.
Nippy.
This right here is Mr. Jason Barber. Killed this bird in Jackson County. That's his daughter Timberland there. good bird. I want to say he said this bird weighed 17 pounds. So that's a good bird, and then that's some spurs on that bird right there.
You imagine them things pop you in the side of your leg or if anything else. So.
Limb hanger right there. Limb hanger. Colton McIntosh killed this bird off of the Big River in Jackson County up in the sand hills up there. I want to say this bird was dead as he hit the ground 10 minutes he was dead. So he was fired up, for instance.
Well, he was wanting to find that hen.
That's right.
So it was easy to get him in there.
Yep. And then here's this is Caleb Van Leerop. This is the bird I called in for him opening morning. As you can tell, it was cool, so we was dressing warm, and we had this bird dead at 6:45. Come in straight off the roost and walked directly up the logging road to us. This was his first bird in about 3 or 4 years, so he was very excited. And
now, did you call that bird up for him?
Yes, I did.
Man. Did he respond the classic way, or was there anything different about that?
I don't really like to call a whole lot to a bird when he's in the tree. I'll locate him first thing that morning with an owl, but I probably called to him 2 or 3 times in the tree just real soft tree yelps to let him know where I was located at, and he responded back. He probably if he gobbled one time, he probably gobbled 60 or 70. He was just 2.5-year-old bird, just fired up.
Well, tell me something. The bird gets fired up. When you hear that good gobble like
I almost fell over first time. First bird gobbling of the season. I up here had to grab a hold to a tree and just lean over for a second.
How many of y'all do that out there the same way? Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it was just he gobbled and gobbled and gobbled and wouldn't hush. And I watched that bird pitch down out there into that logging road. He flew over all that cut timber, and I told him, I said, all right, now get ready, he's fixing to come up the road. Well, I seen his old barrel was sitting down there doing this right here, and the bird ain't even come around the corner yet. And nothing was happening. Well, I just turned my old head and cackled at him one time. He hammered down, come running around the corner, and I said, oh, here he comes. He come walking up that logging road. 10 steps, he shot him.
Hey, Stan Kirkland, you hear that right there? Did you get excited? I thought you did. Go ahead.
We made a trip down south, right below Ocala, near Bushnell, and this is Laramie Dryden. He has got some family down there that we was able to go down there and hunt some Osceolas. Didn't have enough time. I had to get back to work.
You say Osceola, that's a different
species, different species.
Of what's
you
here.
got your Easterns up here, your Osceolas down there, and Rios and Merriams.
And that's always fun to get something different, isn't it? Yeah.
But went down there and I got boogered. They outsmarted me.
What?
So they say them birds down there are a lot easier to hunt and a lot easier to kill, but if them birds down there have had any bit of pressure on them at all, you will not kill one. And this bird right here, we set up on this bird and we sat there till 10:30, and he gobbled in the tree till 10:30. And he wasn't that big of a bird. It was the last day, and he come in there silent after lunch, and just so happened I was paying attention, and he come walking around the corner, and Laramie was able to get a shot on him, and but if I'd have had a few more days, I'd have been able to seal the deal. But there were plenty of birds down there, just couldn't get it done. So
you call that one in for Jeremy?
Laramie,
I'm sorry. You call that one in for him?
Correct.
Now, what do you like to do first thing when you get in there and get set up and you first call? Do you like to use a box?
Slate.
A slate. You like to use a slate. Do you ever use a box?
When it's windy.
Windy. Okay.
When it's windy or late in the afternoon and I'm trying to either locate one or just blow his eardrums out where he'll gobble.
Okay. Okay. Intimidate him some.
Right.
There you go. Y'all heard it. How about the mouth diaphragm?
Well, when he's coming in.
Getting a little closer. Now you folks.
That way I'm not moving my hands when he's walking in. That's right.
All right. So later on, you got to go do some hunting on your own and calling for yourself. How'd that go for you?
Not very good. Not very good. Sitting there, had two gobblers in a tree about 100 yards behind me, and gobbled and gobbled and gobbled, and wouldn't commit. So I got up and started walking across the little field I was sitting in, just soft calling like I was leaving. And they just lit up. Here they come. Yeah, yeah, yeah. About the time I run back through the field and sat down where I had been sitting, they pop out in the field and come running down the field to my left, and I'm facing the right over here at the decoys. Well, I don't know what they seen, if the sun was hitting me in the face, I'm full camouflage or what, but one of them threw their head up. So when the turkey does that, you're in trouble. And I just leaned on over and spun around and shot and missed, and got up and threw my gun halfway across the field like a normal turkey hunter would. but
Anybody ever done anything like that? You ever missed? Okay. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll come back to you in just a few minutes with more information. Hey, we're back again. And we enjoyed talking to Matthew a little bit about his turkey season, or perhaps in his case, the lack thereof it. But his success, though, I think an awful lot of it is not necessarily making the kill, it's the hunt or the opportunity to call him out and beat that old gobbler at his own game, right?
Right. That's
I would
That's
say
the
so.
whole point.
I would say so. Now, folks out there, if you got any wild turkeys that's just really troublesome, and they are eating up all your garden stuff, and they're really giving you a real nuisance.
Call me. I'll be glad to come handle them for you next spring.
Next spring, that's right.
That's
Give
right.
him a call. Let us holler at us, and we'll come over and eradicate your troublesome wild turkeys. Anyhow, now let's go further up towards in the Panhandle, towards the state line, and get off out in this freshwater area. Sometimes we don't get enough talk about that freshwater, and I know Coach has folks on here from time to time all about this salt water, and I love it. Y'all heard me say the other day how much I love it, but we're going to talk about freshwater fishing a little bit, and the fact that with the hurricane doing so much damage, even up through there, up around Paramours. Now, you folks that live up that way know what it looks like up there. Huge 80-year-old timber blowed down, just like in here. And got folks distracted, got folks' minds off of any kind of recreational stuff. They were focused on getting their lives back in order and getting their homes and churches and their communities back up and running. But now, folks, the river is starting to get better and better, as Coach has talked about this year, and the lake. Now, the lake level, Lake Seminole I'm speaking of, is down about 1.5 feet from normal. Now, I don't have the math or the education to know why they've drawn it down, other than there's a tremendous amount of water that may be coming down from the north that they're making preparations for. The river, as you heard me say earlier, is on a slow drop. And if I understand right, most people, if I was raised in Bluntstown, fishing out at a Bluntstown on the Apalachicola River, or as we down yonder would call it, the Big River. Of course, we're talking about the Big River, and the small river is the Chipola that runs south and runs into it. But the lake being down, they have been catching fish. Some people have complained that it's not been as good, perhaps because the water draw down, and it's a little bit like saltwater fishing in tide. When you get a dropping tide or a low tide, it's not as good. They like to get that flow of water. And with the lake being down like it is, it's just a little bit of a problem for fishing. Catfish, brim. Now, we're going to go to Matthew, who's going to give us a little report and show us a few pictures, and we all love them pictures to show off here. He fished on the Big River, putting in there at Chattahoochee this week. This, as a matter of fact, this was Wednesday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday evening.
Wednesday. Wednesday, correct. This is Garrett Williams. He went with me.
Ooh.
Pretty good perch right there, and a good brim.
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
good perch and a good brim.
That's a loaded pole right there, folks. That's what
right.
they call a loaded pole.
And then there you go. That's 2 handfuls right there.
Yes, sir.
Fishing on bottom with a cork, 7 foot, with a earthworm. And you in the willows.
Get you some of them right there.
Get in the willows, up on the bank. Let's see. These fish right here, Joe and Bill Conrad up in Malone and Bascom off of Highway 2. They went and caught some fine ones on Monday afternoon from what I was told. Look at that.
What is that?
That is a good one.
That's a good one right there. That's what they call a good one. Yes, sir.
They
Yeah.
up on the bank, 5 to 6 foot of water, fishing with an earthworm on the bottom. They getting out of the current right now, getting ready to start bedding, and it's fixing to light up. This water's dropping.
It's getting out of the trees. You've been having to, if you're going to fish, you had to fish in the trees in the last month or so.
That's right. That's right.
Getting down a little bit better, as Coach says. Getting right.
It's definitely fixing to light on fire. Everybody is eager to hit the water. With the lake being down and the river dropping, people are scrambling to get out there and catch them big river brim. So
Y'all ever heard of folks talking about, hey boy, he was so lucky to catch them fish? Luck is defined where preparation meets opportunity. You've got to be prepared to get out there and do it, and start doing it right now. Look here, we're going to take just a moment and take another break and come back to you again with some more stuff. All right, we're back again one more time. Look here, we're about to have Coach's drawings up next. We're going to be drawing for a $20 gift card, and this is sponsored by Tarpon Dock Seafood. Yes, sir, go by there and patronize these businesses. A $20 gift card. Matthew, pull us one out there. Boy, look at him. Out of Youngstown, we got Billy Joe Newsom. Billy Joe. Look at him, Tarpon Dock Seafood, a $20 gift card for you. One more now. This here's a red snapper. Look at here. From Fountain again, we got Katie Cumby. Katie Cumby. That's a red snapper from Tarpon Dock Seafood. All right, briefly we're gonna talk some more about fishing, but right here, for some of you folks that don't know what I got right here in front of me, them's what I call bread and butter pickles, homemade. When you have a big fish fry, you lay a few onions out there beside them hush puppies, and you fry up them fish, you crack the top on that thing right there, and you put a few on your plate. I brought them to Coach and to Jeff, so next time they get off out there in the company and visiting folks, you like to bring something to the party. You know, if you're gonna go up there and be invited to have fish, right, Matthew?
That's right.
You bring something up there. You can bring that jar of bread and butter pickles up there, and folks is gonna jump up there and make you tongue slap your brains out. Now this right here is for breakfast on Saturday morning, some hot biscuits. Now most of you folks will recognize what that is. That's fig preserves. Them right there go good with biscuits. Brought them for the Coach and Jeff as well. Matthew, show us some more pictures you got right here.
This is my brother-in-law Chris. That's a redfish he caught down at the stump field.
He caught that down at St. Joe there at the crook where it was as bad to wash out. He was down there casting rough surf he was throwing in on the bank and hung that thing. I don't know what bait he was using, but he was kind of
using the fake fish bite.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen
shrimp.
that
It was either shrimp or crab. I can't remember, but definitely the no-see-ums was toting you off that day. I mean, I didn't even want to fish, but he caught that, and then it was like, well, I got to stay now, you know.
Yeah, you got to keep fishing. Maybe you hang one of them like that right there.
That's right. Here's a bass. Caught that fish in, I want to say that was Cowpen Pond.
Cowpen Pond.
Cowpen Pond.
Now that's in Jackson County. As most of y'all know, all these big lakes and ponds are pretty full of water right now.
You can see all the grass and stuff in there. I have my little mud motor on my little 14-foot John boat, so I could get in there and fish it and do pretty good in there. But I catch and release everything we catch. The owner of it don't want you keeping nothing, so you got to abide by his rules on it. So
that y'all heard me talk. That's fishing out of East Bay and probably off Goose Point behind Tyndall back in there. I like to get up on there like I hear these professionals talk about. We'll drift down that bank with that wind pushing us and throwing that Cajun Thunder, popping cork, and probably any kind of
Z-Man New Penny.
New Penny,
Z-Man New Penny.
paddle tail, and just work that thing out there real slow and easy, and boom, first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire.
That's right.
You know, so look at him. That's what you call a loaded pole right there. That's a loaded pole. I don't know what Chris had on, but that's my grandson. Throwed his rigging down and got the net. He's good help around there, and he'll reel one in just like the grown folks will. That was just after the hurricane. Within a couple of days, C.J. Wyckoff took that photograph. That's kinfolk of a tree down, and that's a bald eagle up there near Appalachia Management Area. Took that picture as well. This hog right here, folks, was taken in Ocheesee Pond by Matthew and Alex. Look here, them things has got tushes on them, and that's right there just a small example of what one walks around and wears in his head. That's how dangerous it is, just to give you an idea of how much fun that is right there.
That was a dangerous. It took a Honda 420 to get him out of the woods.
Drag him out.
That,
All right, we're almost through. And of course, that's the hog on the ground right there, and y'all see him bristled up. He was a bad hombre, intimidate you.
Yeah, took a grown man to grab a hold of that thing.
Yeah.
But
what else? That's it?
that's all the pictures
Hey,
I
we're
got.
through, folks. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. See y'all on Monday, all right?
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.